Beans?
Basically, like Soggy Beans is like it's a bird watching game but with fish. So it goes a little game where these fish visit you. You don't keep them; they swim on and they stay for a while and they swim off. But they revisit you, and they all have different names and preferences. And for the gameplay, you basically are visited by these fish. You add them to your like little journal, and you decorate your little seascape. And then from there, you can also take photos of the fish and like keep those as like the little memory that like sticks around.
Because it's like idle. And so a big thing for us has been like we're kind of idle, but when people think idle games, they often think like economy and like, you know, big number go up kind of stuff. But ours isn't that. Like it's idle in the purest form, you know, it sits on the side. But kind of breaking away from that connotation, we've kind of gone now more with like side idler because we don't have a strong focus on economy of it. It's more like, you know, creature collectee and
the whole concept is there's like a bean machine and like the fish as they visit you, they swim by and they knock beans out of the bean machine for you. And that is your currency. And it's like the passive like currency generation of the game. And then you go use those beans to go buy pieces of furniture and then decorate your tank. And we plan to have like different ways of getting beans too, like little photography quests and other little bits and pieces. So it's not purely just passive. But with how the game works currently, fish visit you enough and they swim around your tank quite frequently, so they are constantly knocking down beans. There's always just beans.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little visual stim thing. It's like watching the DVD logo hit the corner, like just waiting for them to kind of swim into it. I don't know, it's good. I can't pay attention very well with work, and I wanted something on the side as like a little just kind of dopamine hit, and the idea was like kind of like looking out a window and seeing birds come on, and I was like, oh, you know, like the fish will just visit and just put them in your book. And it was initially like a really simple thing, but as we've gone, it's kind of just we've just got creeped a lot and just keep adding features, and we're kind of just making whatever the game tells us to make at this point. I don't know where it's going to end up.
Originally, it was a placeholder name, so we're like, we'll just call this thing Soggy Beans for now, and we're like, we'll think of another name later, and then it just stuck, and we're just like, I can't imagine it now as like anything else but like Soggy Beans. And it's like, it's underwater, there's beans, that makes sense, so Soggy Beans.
It's been messy, I guess. It's funny, like, because what Lauren was saying, it started as kind of a small thing. I think what was the initial thing? Hey, it'll be a couple weeks or something. It's just like this small little thing. But as we got into it more, we just kind of listened to what it wants to be, and been lots of like experimentation, seeing what fits, what doesn't. Like at one stage, it was like this thing where the little critters would like run around on the floor and like with baskets and try like catch beans, and or you'd have like this little cannon and you'd shoot things and it would like bounce off of the fish and earn points like that. So it's gone all over the place, but then it eventually kind of comes back to wanting to be what it is now, just this cute little fish watching companion game.
About a year now it's been around, and it's been through like quite a few iterations since then. It's been really interesting. When you're always at a desktop, like it's kind of nice to have this little thing on the side to tinker with that's like not too distracting, but enough to also maybe perhaps keep you from getting distracted by other things. So like revisiting this little game that just hangs out there is like being something I've discovered that I really want, and like there's a few games that are now coming out in that same sort of genre, so it's very cool. And there's also a pufferfish with a knife, who is my favorite pufferfish.
I think the development of it's been like just kind of lots of experiments and putting things in. So every time one of those kind of, well, early on it was quite hard to find things that mesh together well, but now it's kind of landed on its, I guess, core ideas, and you know which features are going to work and which aren't, and then now watching everything we put in really blend together well and kind of amplify each other is real cool. So I like that we're at a later stage now where everything's kind of solidified a bit more and it's not as messy.
It's been strange. Like we don't feel like it's like a traditional process of being able to test things. So it's been quite hard, but it's been really fun as well for that reason, because there's a lot of experimentation. Because
the game's kind of played on the side, like it's quite difficult to play test in that way, because the like core feeling you're looking for is like the environment you play it in is say sitting and working. But while you're developing it, like we're used to kind of building games where you could give it to someone, they sit there and give all of their focus to it. But in this case, that's not really how we expect most people to play it. And so it's hard to find environments where people actually have, I guess, half their attention there and half not. So that's always difficult, because playtesting is, you know, what you want to do early and stuff. So, you know, aim for a demo early next year. And then following that, it'll just be adjusting to the feedback. Our demos kind of interesting because we do need like almost all the systems in there. So once the demo's out, we're just working on content and stuff mostly.
We have this interesting struggle, which we don't want to spoil the fish in the game, because part of the charm of the game is like, and we've watched people play it and a new fish swims on, and it's like this little bit of excitement. So for our marketing, it's like, oh, we don't want to show every single fish, which limits us to a small pool of fish that we can show, and like keeping that excitement and not the things that we want to spoil and like not spoil. And it's like quite tricky, surprisingly.
What are your go-to caffeinated beverages when working on the game?
Definitely coffee with oat milk, but if I was going to go fancy, then it would be like just a cappuccino.
Yeah, mine's just soy coffee, very boring.
Coffee every day, but then when I actually want to do like serious work, it'd always be energy drinks.